Hi, this is Grant Putnam Landscaping. Just wanted to go over the design with you real quick. Okay. So these are existing taller trees here and here. Okay, existing trees, existing shrubs, the ones that are not colored. Okay. Um, we talked about a very clean design. So I have this dwarf boxwood hedge called green velvet boxwood. They win the award every year for like the best dwarf boxwood. Don't have a winter burn problem like English boxwood do. Okay, super hardy in the Northeast. I probably plant about 400 of these a year because they're so usable. They stay compact, easy to maintain. Typically don't have a ton of insect issues. So, um, anyways, that's what we have along the front edge. Okay, and then behind that we have a dwarf paniculata hydrangea. Paniculata is one family of hydrangea that I remember mentioning to you that will bloom no matter what every year. Okay, the macrophylla hydrangeas, which are like the blue hydrangeas that you see all over the place, those only bloom about 50% of the year because they bloom on last year's wood, whereas paniculata hydrangeas bloom on that year's new growth. Okay, so there's a grouping here and a grouping here in front of the wall, so it's symmetrical. Okay, those are dwarf variety, so they're designed to stay shorter than some of the other taller varieties, which will grow like 7 to 8 feet tall. These dwarf variety you can keep at roughly, call it 3.5 to 4.5 feet tall, depending on how you maintain them. Okay. Then over here in front of the house and over here in front of the house, there's different options, but one option, if you want the longest possible blooming period, is you could go with knockout roses. And again, the idea is you want to have this layered effect. We have shorter and then taller plants behind there. So I have a group of 3 here and a group of 3 here as far as knockout roses, but again, there's other options if you're not a huge fan of those. Now, the advantage is those do start blooming, say, end of May, early June, whereas the hydrangeas won't start blooming until like more of the middle of July, typically. Okay. Then I have a group of Hamlin grasses, which are dwarf fountain grasses. They don't flop apart. They stay compact. It's a really nice grass. In front of the house in the courtyard area, the concept was to remove the mulch, add more lawn area. Okay. Add spirea on this side, which is actually 2 color tone spirea, that variety that I'm suggesting is really pretty. Boxwoods in the corners to kind of frame the courtyard, which is, we're trying to pick up on the texture of the boxwoods along the front. Okay. Hosta on this side, but again, you could use like lady's mantle, or you could use heuchera. There's all different types of shade perennials that you could use on the opposite side of that stone wall. It's the north side of the wall. The sun always starts east, which is over here, swings south, which is this way, and finishes west. So, so you need something that can take some shade because there's going to be a shadow on that side of the stone wall. Okay. And then over here I had a type of arborescens hydrangea, different family than paniculata, but it's called lime ricky. And that again will grow a little bit bigger, but can take the shade because you're going to get only morning sun in this area. Okay. So those bloom white, which kind of picks up in the white in here. Okay, and then underneath here I was going to remove the juniper, the green juniper on both sides, and add liriope. Liriope blooms purple in the summer, has berries in the fall, and will maintain its color even during the winter. So it's one of the few perennials that actually keeps its evergreen color. You still have to trim it back in the spring because some of it dies off in the top, but you still get color during the winter, which is a major advantage. Okay. And then along the driveway, let me just scroll to that. Along the driveway, I have 2 trees here and here, 2 beautiful crab apples, and then actually 2 pink dwarf type of Kusa dogwoods, which means they bloom later in the spring. So I was trying to get 2 different blooming periods. So I got more of an early spring bloom, and then I've got more of a late spring bloom that's like blooming now, okay, which these pink Kusa dogwoods. So I wanted to leave open kind of the center view, which is what we spoke about, and kind of flank the driveway with trees. So that was the idea. So anyways, I appreciate the opportunity. We went ahead and just drafted the design because we thought that would be the most professional thing to do. When I send you the proposal, I'll also give you the list of references. You can call any of those people up, ask them what they think about us, or you could go look at the projects we're doing now. We've got about, I'm trying to think, 3 projects going on right now. They're all planting projects. So I'll send you an address too of a house that we just planted the boxwood. Like I said, with plants, there's a huge difference in quality based on where you're buying them. So our advantage is rather than buying them from a local wholesale nursery, we're able to buy like the best quality material directly from the guy who's growing them, like the farmer. Okay, and it gives us a big advantage versus having to buy them from the middleman, who's typically buying poorer quality material because they have to be able to flip it. They got to buy it and sell it and still make a profit. So we're buying a little bit higher price material from the grower, but we're not having to then buy it from the wholesaler, who's the middleman. So we're able to kind of keep our prices competitive, but we're offering the best quality material. So that's it. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.